Remember you in the pictures. Hola. It's live now.
I see it says it's live on YouTube.
Hey. Hello. Wow. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We are live on YouTube this morning. Wow, September 12th. I'm so excited. This is Janet's Pick. Welcome to Janet's Pick. If you're just joining for the first time, my name is Janet, and I am just loving the opportunity to speak to some amazing women that are doing amazing things in their area, in their areas, in their industries. And today I have a very special guest with me. I am so excited, so honored, so privileged to have with me today, Agatha Achindu. Welcome, Agatha. Say hi to our folks.
Hi, everybody.
Wow, Agatha, welcome to Janet's Pick. I'm going to introduce Agatha, right? Her bio is amazing, but I'm just going to pick some parts of it. She's a certified integrative nutritionist and wellness coach. She is co-founder of Yummy Spoonfuls, a line of fresh, frozen, organic food for kids. She's a wellness entrepreneur. She's a speaker and educator who specializes in helping American families thrive by transforming the way they live and feed their children. Wow. Agatha, welcome. I've been following you for a while now. I've been lurking around, and I'm so amazed by the things you do. So I want you, you and I have spoken and familiar with you to an extent, but can you please tell our guests, give a bit of your background as much as, fewest words.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for having me. Background, a little snippet. I'm half Nigerian, half Cameroon. I was born in Nigeria. And then my parents moved to Cameroon when we were kids. I grew up, my mom was a farmer and my dad, crazy as it is, it's interesting how your childhood can literally form your life as an adult. My dad worked with preventive medicine, but I moved to the United States a long time ago. When I came to the United States, I think if you can imagine, if you can picture coming to America, just knowing that I was coming to the United States, it was such a big deal because in my head, the big cars, the big homes, the malls. And when I came to the United States, my biggest shock was how the food system was crazy. Like people didn't, it's today when I look back and think about it, I think it was easy for me to see because I was seeing with the eyes of an outsider. But to me, a lot of people look sick, like they didn't look vibrant because this is America. I'm coming from a developing country where people didn't have so much, but the vibrancy that I left at home, even with the people who were making nothing, the farmers, and then come to America where you would see somebody and you're talking to them, then they say, oh, I'm 30. And you're thinking, wow, how can you be 30? You look like you're 60. But that was my impression. So background, I am a semi-farmer's daughter and a preventive medicine guy daughter. One of 6. And I am a mother. I have 3 boys. My youngest is 15. And that's a little background.
Wow. And so when you got here, I know that you didn't start off in this area. You
No.
made a jump from. Can you tell us you were an IT executive? Can you tell us a bit of
Oh yeah. Oh
transition?
yeah. I mean, when I came here, I went to University of Maryland, College Park, and then moved to Atlanta. I worked
Sure.
in my younger sister actually still lives. I have an older sister who lives in Maryland. I have a younger sister who lives in Maryland. But when I when I moved to the United States, I literally started teaching friends how to make little tweaks to their diet. It could be, well, instead of frying the chicken, why don't we bake it? Thank God today that there is an air fryer. The process is not as hard. But when I moved to Atlanta, I worked for a lot of other companies. But my last job before I left to launch Yummy Spoonfuls was Agilicis. And I was the executive director of quality assurance. So make sure the codes, everything is working properly. Had a team out in Las Vegas and in India that I managed. But over the years, I would offer these free workshops. And initially, it was more with my friends, with us, like somebody would look at me like, oh, I love your skin. Uh, and, and then I'm like, well, if you're having issues with rashes, it might be you need to stop eating this. I mean, those little things that you would do with diet, because it started with me seeing the way I feel, the way my parents and my kids, then it was two. So it was easy for me to start offering these nutritional type therapies that in my head, I'm like, what can you lose? It's just food, which is what made me at the end, I decided like, you know what, let me really go dig deep into the science of nutrition. But I started the workshops and I realized it was growing. People were desperate for information, especially at that point, I wasn't selling anything. I was just trying to help. Like you don't have to, you don't have to be sick all the time. Your child doesn't have to be sick all the time. You can all these things, which is funny because today where we are with the whole coronavirus, I'm like, oh wow. For over 25 years, I've been talking to people about eating for a better immune system because it's our number one defense.
Mhm.
Full circle, that's where we are today,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Full circle. Look at where we are today. How many years later? Because I was about to ask you, like, so since then and now, have you seen things? Have things changed? You think people in general are more conscious about their diet, the nutrition, and their natural immune system, and the way to fortify that naturally?
I think coronavirus has really shown America, one, how unhealthy we are. It's not a coincidence that so many people are dying of this. But I also think the silver lining in this thing is that it's awoken in us the curiosity to try and do a little bit better. The uphill battle in all of this is the marketing force,
Mm,
because the marketing force is that behemoth that would convince a parent or convince an individual like, well, it's okay, you can just stay in the sickness system for so long because that's where the money is. So even though some people know, like common sense tells you that the junk food that has synthetic colors, fake ingredients, this franken food, common sense tells you that this is not really good. But the marketing force that has this beautiful neon packaging with healthy this and healthy that makes you put common sense on the side. And the fact that we are desperate for convenience, because we have to be honest, life is hectic in America. It's not a home that you have a babysitter, you have this, you have a cook. Most often, a lot of us end up doing 2, 3 jobs.
Okay.
And that doesn't stop you from being a mother or a wife. Those things are there, and then you still have to work. So sometimes we're desperate to go along. And so to answer that question, I've seen there is hope, but we have to take responsibility. If anybody asked me today, what would be the magic wand that I want to give to everybody, and what would be the one thing that if any and everybody in America would do to be healthy, I would say be responsible for your own self and for your kids, if you have kids, because that's the thing that is missing, is responsibility.
You know, well, your words are hitting me because responsibility, I'm a mom. So I'm responsible for my kids. I am responsible for their health. You know, I take responsibility for that. And Agatha, you know, during this time, you know, summer is over, kids are back in school, but they're still at home. And one of the challenges when kids are home is feeding these hungry mouths 3 times a day, plus snacks.
That's right.
I think the snacking, and you know, sometimes I have to confess, the snacking, I'm not sure it's on them or the problem is me, right? I admit, you know, one thing you always say is that there are easy solutions that anyone can immediately implement in their homes. And I want you to speak a little bit about those. Let's go through them, because I know a lot of folks that are listening, that's what they're here to, you know, what can I do? What can I do? Okay, I get it. I need to make a change. What are the easiest things? Because, you know, sometimes it seems like it's so complicated, but one of your platform really speaks to the fact that there are easy things that people can implement in their own homes. A few things, okay, that I set up here. I'm going to point out that I think almost everyone has in their home, and I just want you to kind of go through them and just off the top of your head, you know, easy solutions. You know where we're from. Rice. We eat rice a lot of rice, white rice, as we call it.
Yep.
What is your solution? What are your thoughts on that? What kind of change can I make?
I think the biggest mistake that we make, especially for us Africans, is that somehow we think our food is not better. And that's such a huge misconception, because the Western diet, it has been documented over and over how bad the Western diet is. And the reason the Western diet is bad is because food is so overly processed. With us, what I tell people, what I do in my own home, there is nothing wrong with rice. And I don't care if it's white or if it's brown. The type of rice, I would say there is one particular rice, like the parboiled rice.
Okay.
That to me is a problem, because it is rice that has been cooked, so it's processed rice. Unlike if you're eating basmati or brown rice, brown rice is a little bit better than white rice, because of course it's whole grain. So it has more resistant starch. When you eat and you digest that, it takes a little bit longer for it to turn into sugar, unlike white rice. The adjustment that we need to make when we are, I want to say, when we are younger, very young, our metabolism work a little bit different, and when we are older. So by this active age, whether you're 15 all the way to 60, we have to be mindful. So not that we shouldn't eat rice. I eat rice. That's one of my most favorite foods. But you can't just sit and eat a big bowl of rice every day, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. So of course we'll do the jollof rice. That can be your weekend thing that you know what? On the weekend I'm going to splurge. I'm going to eat me a big thing of my rice. During the week, if you are going to eat rice, make sure that the vegetable is more. You eat a lot of veggies, right? Because that's the problem. The human body, if you want to take a step back and look at your body, the same way you look at a car, think about it. You get up in the morning, you don't tell your heart to beat. Your heart already knows to beat.
Mhm.
Your foot knows, to move one step over so you can walk. Everything, this machine can only work properly when you give it all the nutrients it needs. That's the magic. It's that simple. Medicine doesn't make you healthy.
Hmm. Hmm.
The food you eat is what makes you healthy. And your health depends on the quality of food that you eat. Vegetable, every time I would see, if you look on social media, the post that would have the millions of likes are posts that would say, well, it's okay if they don't like vegetable. Just give them fruits, because this is a struggle for a lot of parents. Kids don't like vegetables because a lot of kids are not trained from the beginning to eat vegetable.
Yes.
And I used to share, when my kids were younger, I would share their videos of my youngest would eat raw okra and all these things. Now he doesn't, he's 15, he's in high school, he doesn't want videos like that, which I respect. But I'm saying this to make parents understand that just like some kids are harder to train for them when you're trying to potty train them or train them how to ride their bikes, it's the same way that we have to look at food parenting. Some kids, it's harder for them to learn, but this is so important that we teach them. There is no one food group that's more important than the other, whether it's the veggies, whether it's the protein, whether it's the fat, they are all important. I think the reason that we hear so much about veggies is because a lot of kids become adults with chronic diseases
Mm.
that you can simply trace back to lack of so many different minerals and just so many stuff that could have been fixed when they were young. So no, you don't have to give up rice. You
Yeah.
just have to be responsible how you eat the rice. And we eat brown rice, we eat white rice. There are some things I have when I'm making, I use white rice. When I do white rice, I really try to stick to basmati rice because it has a low glycemic index. It's not bleached. A lot of the white rice is rice that has been bleached. So, and parboiled rice is the one rice that it's plastic. And I know a lot of us.
That's what I grew up with, parboiled
Of
rice.
course, that's what we all grew up with.
Yeah.
But the good thing about growth, my hope is that we do better when we know better.
Yes.
Growing up, we have some of these things that come along. When you get older, you really have to take time to start going back and seeing the things that doesn't serve you well and unlearn them. It's now today, if I go, even if I'm sleeping, you put that rice in my mouth, I know without looking at it, I know the difference because it's so plasticky, it's so bouncy. It 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 doesn't feel like rice.
It's amazing because, speaking, this is what some of us are used to, right? We do it mindlessly. You go to the store, you pick up that bag of rice that you're used to, and there's a lot of unlearning that needs to be done. I see that, I admit, and the hope you're saying, there is hope. We can start now, right?
Oh yes, there is always hope. Until the day you die, there is hope.
That's right. That's right. You talked about vegetables. I'm glad because I was like, the thing about veggies are, the kids, So you trained your kids when they were much younger. Because I was going to ask, what are your kids' favorite vegetables? So what they eat just about
Gosh,
at this point.
my kids would eat anything, any vegetable. When they were younger, we would go to the farmers market, and I think the mistake that some parents would make is they, without knowing it, would put their own preference on their kids because they don't like veggies, they didn't grow up eating veggies, and then training their kids, it'll be like, well, I didn't like it, my child wouldn't like, but your child is a whole different human. Like, I would tell you truthfully, I would never eat raw okra, but going to the farmer's market, I would see like my kid will pick it up and bite. The one thing that I knew, like when he did it the first time, I didn't go, I just smiled. But in my head, I'm like, that's a lot. Right? But that's that curiosity. And I also remember one time he picked pepper, the little, look, he was used to seeing like the African type pepper that I'll bring at home, the habanero type. But then there was the chili. And he picked it and just bit into it, and his eyes popped. It was like, wow. And I was like, that one is like, oh no, that one is fiery. I'm like, okay, wow. Right? So there was a study that was done by the American Pediatric Association, and I think American Pediatric Academy. They said a lot of parents give up too early. That I think in this study, they had interviewed, I don't know how many thousands of parents, but the question was, how many times would, when you offer a new food, especially vegetable, to your child, how many times would you try before you give up? I think 90%, a lot of them said 5. Meanwhile, for some kids, it would take 35. For some kids, it will take 90 tries. You have to keep offering. Like in my house, majority of the time, salad is just part of, when we sit down to eat, there is a salad. It's something that I love. And so it was easy, something my husband loved. It's part of our everyday meal. There are days that everybody is busy. Salad would be what we would eat at home. So my kids would eat any vegetable that I bring home.
Wow.
And we eat vegetable a lot. A lot.
That's awesome. That survey that you talked about is interesting. Keep trying, never give up, because I think we give up, right? Both for the toddlers or even for, those of us that have older kids, we give up too soon.
And I think that's the one thing about food parenting, because if you really sit back to think about it, some kids take forever to train them, to potty train them.
True.
Some kids will take 1 month. Some kids will take 1 year. And those keep having accidents. Heck, some kids will take 2 years. We have 3, so I know. Yes. But when it comes to food parenting, there is just something in it. Even riding the bike, there are so many things that you see parents would exhaust everything because they really want to make sure that their child master whatever craft that is. But when it comes to food parenting, I think because the the downside is not something that's so easily seen.
Right.
Like, oh, if my child is not eating this happens.
Yeah.
Like, or if my child is not riding the bike, all his age mates are riding the bike, so it looks like.
Yeah.
That's the problem with food parenting.
Yes.
So if, for whoever is listening or watching this, if there is one thing you want to take away, it's to remember that food, there is something that's called food parenting. Like, you are teaching your child how to eat. At the end of the day, however this child, when it comes to food, whatever happens, however they grow up, you as an adult, the adult who makes decisions for them when they were younger, at an age where habits are formed, you take responsibility of however they become when they're older. And I'm sorry to say, but
That's right. Look, conviction. You are convicting me so much. But the revelation there, like you talked about, is being conscious of what we cannot see, right? The benefits
yeah,
is internal, but long term, more permanent. And for us to be conscious of that, to be consistent enough until it works. You talked about
yeah.
salad, basic salad dressing. What's your solution for salad dressing? Do you use regular salad dressing or you make your own? What's a
99% of the time I make mine.
oh,
I don't do it all the time, but 99% I do. When I have a couple of clients who, when I started talking to them, and we're just like, oh, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing all the right stuff. And we started drilling in. The first culprit was salad dressing.
wow.
And especially for somebody who uses it all the time, the inflammation that a lot of those dressings cause in the body because of the type of oils that they use. I did a free Zoom event, I can't remember, a couple of months ago, just talking about vegetable oils, which is something that a lot of Africans we use. With
Yes.
this whole thing with coronavirus, us having to rely on our immune system, I had noticed a lot of people were trying to do the right stuff, doing a lot of vitamin C and all this good stuff. But I'm
Yes.
like, the oxidative effect that you get from vegetable oils, the canola, the corn oil, all those things, is worse. And most salad dressings are made with vegetable oils because, of course, it's always the bottom line. It has to be the cheapest that it can be. So if you can honestly make your own, make your salad dressing at home, it's so easy. On my Instagram page, I've shared so many different recipes on how to make your salad dressing. If you can't, and of course, not everybody can, if you're going to buy salad dressing, take the time to really read the label. Make sure the oil that it's used, it's olive oil,
Okay.
either olive oil or avocado oil,
Hmm.
you know. And then if you can splurge, some people have the money, then they can, you can use something with walnut oil, but olive oil, avocado oil, and then really read all the ingredients and ask yourself, what is it that you're putting in your body? Is it worth it? If you don't have, in these stores, there are some good quality ones. I think last time I was in such a rush and I got a little thing like this of dressing. It was $6, $6 and some change from Sprouts. Because of course I looked at the thing and I was going home, I was just smiling. I'm like, this will never happen. Because for $6, I'll make a big, like I'll make salad dressing that can feel something like this, you know? So
You talked about canola oil. We use canola oil, and I'm thinking, whoa, man, I'm doing
yeah,
great. Is that a good?
but that's the problem. So, and please, after this, you can go take the, when you go to my IG profile, there is the link that you would see the healthy cooking oils. you can take it and send to everybody. No, canola oil is cancer causing. But again, because we have in this country, we go back to what I said about the power of marketing. Everything is dissected. We're almost like a biology experience, like a biology experiment. Is that, oh, canola oil is cholesterol free. Yay! But what does that mean? Where is canola from? Olive oil is from olive. Palm oil is from palm fruit. Peanut oil is from peanut. Avocado oil is from avocado. Where is canola?
I have no idea.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me there.
That's not a good oil. It's really not a good oil. And I had put some thought into it before I decided to do that Zoom call, because I know in a lot, I want to say it might be 13 years ago, I was using canola oil because I went from like, I want to say 14. It was the best. But then I was like, I read an article and I'm like, oh, please, everybody's pushing. But then it made me ask, where is canola oil? Then I started reading about rapeseed and all these things. And I was like, oh, and the more I researched, and there is a lot of studies. There is so much data out there. But again, there are people who would lobby against, because America, at the end of the day, it's all about money. So I come back again to being responsible for your health, for your life and your kids. Because whoever has the most money, sometimes they say follow the money. Whoever has the most money has the loudest voice, but it doesn't mean that's the right thing.
That's the power of marketing that you talk about, because this is the very first time I'm hearing, what you're saying about canola oil. And I admit, no research whatsoever on my part, just going with sometimes these come as fads, like the fashion, what you're hearing, the buzzwords. I mean, we know little or nothing about it. Thank you for sharing that. We have one of our listeners asking where we can find recipes, and you talked about your IG page, Agatha Achindu online, right? On IG page, everyone, Instagram. Well, I'll try and pin it on here on the replay so that everybody, you can access that. She has a lot.
And I started a YouTube channel. Fantastic. I share. I'm not as, I'm trying, that was another silver lining of COVID, because I'm like, ooh, I have all this time, and I had my son helping me. So I try at least once a week or once every 2 weeks to put a recipe there. And for the mothers, if somebody is a mother, this is only for moms. I have a closed Facebook account. It's called Agatha Achindu Moms Group. So you can join, you can ask questions. I share recipes, we talk in there. It's our own little safe corner. I wanted to create a safe space that moms could ask questions without feeling guilty or without feeling embarrassed, like, oh, somebody else is going to see this, but it's only us moms in that group.
So how can we access it if we get on request?
You have to request to join when you are on Facebook. It's called Agatha Achindu Moms Group.
Awesome. You hear it, moms. Come on. I'm part of a moms group for daughters, mentoring daughters. So I know some of them are on right now. Thank you. That's fantastic. Now your YouTube channel, is it against your name as well, Agatha Achindu?
Yes, it's Agatha Achindu. Yes. Okay.
Yes, please.
I actually just shared, I think the last recipe I shared was how to make coconut milk.
Wow. Oh, come on now. What? Yes. Wow. Gold in there. Okay. Right after this, I'm going for that.
Yes.
Pasta. I have pasta here. We'll talk about rice. I have pasta, right?
Okay.
What do you do for pasta? Because some like rice, some like pasta.
Yes, and I talk a lot about pasta because this is something that our kids eat a lot. I tell every parent who is ready to listen, if your child is going to eat pasta, it has to be 100% whole grain. I don't care what kind of pasta it is, whether it's wheat, whether it's rice, whether it's lentils. Like the lentils is the one I love now. It's really good. There is the lentil pasta, and the only ingredient is lentils with the
Wow.
red lentils. It's very good. Um, the sickness that comes from eating refined grains like that pasta, this enriched pasta, is literally like you're putting your teaspoon in a cup of sugar and put it in your children's mouth. It's just starch. And it's so funny. This in December, we went home, we were in Abuja, my entire family. And I remember there was somebody who was sick and they went in for dialysis. And my sister, my girlfriend, came back and told me, she's like, you will not believe it. At the dialysis center, there is a line wrapped around that, oh, she didn't realize so many people had kidney problem, had some issues that they need to do dialysis. Like there were more than 100 people standing in line. And I think that's how the Western diet is becoming an issue in Africa, but for the wealthy. So it's almost like the affluent. Because this is how at home, like we were in Abuja. So a lot of people here, majority of the people have a lot of money. And you see these supermarkets, you see spaghetti, none of them is whole wheat, and then even the Indomie, this
Yes.
thing but that's the problem. So to really answer that question, for everybody, I shared another recipe on how to make whole wheat pasta. It's on my YouTube channel. I think that one I made with the Ozo, the little Ozo. Kids do eat a lot of pasta.
Yes.
My thing with how we eat is not that we cannot eat. You can eat whatever you want. I say 80% of the time, you have to make sure that you're eating the right things. 80% and 20% of the time now. So if your kids are like my kids who love pasta,
yes,
that means pasta falls in the 80%. You want to make sure that they are eating one good quality pasta, which is whole grain, 100%, whatever grain. And secondly, I always would put veggies in my pasta. If we make pasta at home, the only exception is when we make, like my son lately, he's made it twice and I told him that will be it for this year. Mac and cheese. Then it's just whoop. There is no veggie, but I would put, even if it's butternut squash puree, just to add some nutrients and some fiber. So no, you want to make sure it's 100% whole wheat. And parents would tell me, oh, my kids don't like whole wheat. No, you would train them. And I honestly don't see the difference. Is that when you cook whole wheat, if the packaging, say for example, the packaging says cook for 10 minutes, I would cook for 8 minutes or so the first time, right? So that you can figure out which would be the right texture for whatever brand that you're doing. But now that overly processed enriched pasta thing right there, That's obesity, diabetes just waiting to happen.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay. And you make yours. I'm going to be checking out your YouTube channel right away. I'm telling you, because these are like staples in my
Yes.
life. I'm
So,
so
but if you notice, when you go now to the store, a lot of those brands, they have the whole wheat ones.
versions. That's correct.
And you really, you don't have to, you don't have to disrupt your family's life because you want to eat healthy. There is really nothing so drastically wrong. You see, now I didn't say don't eat pasta.
Right.
I just say just eat a better quality of it. And
That's
that's
right.
it.
Yes, yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
So we really, being present, paying attention is the magic sauce.
Paying attention. Because yeah, what I do, I'm trying to stop that is, picking stuff off the shelf, what you're used to. You look at your list and you just pick stuff up without, like paying attention and doing the research. That's what I'm hearing from you right now. You need to do a lot of research. For anyone that's wondering, I'm outdoors, I'm on the East Coast, the weather is interesting. So bear with me. We lost power just a few minutes before this interview, but the show must go on. And if you're just joining us, my name is Janet. This is Janet's Pick, and I have with me Agatha Achindu. She is co-founder of Yummy Spoonfuls. Yummy Spoonfuls, it's a line of fresh.
I'm actually the founder. I founded the company.
You founded the company. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Some of you may have already seen her items on the stands. You distribute at Walmart. Agatha, and the first thing,
Yes.
what other stores can we find some of your products?
Walmart. It's just Walmart and Amazon. So Walmart nationwide and Amazon.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. So proud of you. Um, Look, okay, there's something. This fruit juice. I took.
Ah,
I see you cringing.
yeah, that's really, it's horrible. So it's only okay if it falls under the 20%. If it's on the 80%, then you want to toss it away because it honestly has no nutritional value. The only time fruit juice has any value is when you make it fresh. The fruit juice that you buy from the store, by law, it has to be pasteurized for safety. And that process, what it does, it kills the enzymes, it kills the good stuff that you're trying when you juice at home. So if it's just, oh, well, my kids were going to have a treat, I would treat fruit juice like I treat soda.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The best hydration is water. Make your children drink water, Like for some adults, they don't do, I share a lot of infused water like this, the recipes. So it makes drinking water a bit easy for some. Juice is a treat. It can be a therapy if you're making it at home. Like, oh, well, my kid is not feeling well. I want to boost their immune system. And then you would juice fresh fruits and vegetables at home that you juice and they drink. Yes. But outside of that, no.
Okay, I have a lot of those in my fridge. I'm going to. I that's one area that I need a lot of work.
Yeah, but like ask, because at the end of the day, I would always go back to the responsibility. You can ask yourself, I don't know, like, why do you give your kids the juice? What are you trying to accomplish? And then see if you're getting it. Because if it's not happening, then you get to pivot. You just have to step away.
Yeah, I have a lot of pivoting to do, definitely. And this COVID period hasn't I know myself, and I know some friends of ours, kids, myself, we put on a few pounds over the past couple of months, and I know a lot it has to do with some of these things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But there is some good side. There is some good side to being at home. Of course, we all have put on it's the gift of love that you're at home, you can eat as you want, you can rest as you want. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I would encourage everybody is like, okay, now that you have this extra time at home, it might be you stop doing things as just auto response, because now you have extra time, so you can cook more
Yeah.
instead of picking snacks. I know we started talking about snacks and then we kind of move on to another question, but with snacks is, I think, one of the safest place to start is to ask yourself, what is a snack and what is a treat? Because a treat would be something that it's just a treat. It doesn't have any nutritional value. You know it. Everybody knows it. So once in a while, like, you have a cake or you have ice cream. Those are treats. You have cookies. Those are treats. Snacks, especially for kids, is that opportunity that you have in between meals to nourish them, to just hold their tummy to the next meal. So in my head, when I want to talk to somebody about snacks, I say, look at snacks as little meals. So whatever it is that you're giving your child for snack, is that something that you can give them big quantity for a meal and let them go to bed? So that said, snack, I don't overthink snacks. It could be you make popcorn at home. It could be apples. It could be snack time. To me, it's always simple. I like to keep it raw. I would chop fruits, let them eat as much fruits as they want. We'll buy a big thing of watermelon, and that will be snacks. So snack, keep it a lot of fruits, a lot of veggies, cucumber, bell peppers, all those easy things. Treats, cookies, especially if it's cookies that, store-bought cookies, muffins, all those things. It could be a snack if you make it at home and it's really healthy, with good flour and some nuts that is like high in protein. That could be a snack. But if you are giving your child something like Oreos, that's a treat. It's not a snack.
Wow.
Right?
Yes. This is the first time I'm hearing someone distinguish snacks and treats. They've always been one and the same in my mind. But the way it makes so much sense. Yeah. Have the same responsibility with healthy snacking, because like I say, the snacks, is it something that we're comfortable with our kids eating in large quantity? A treat is a bit once in a while. Thank you.
Yeah, because for sure, that you're not going to give your child ice cream every day. And that's something that instinctively, and it's the same with the thing that just came to my mind. Another healthy food that they've processed and messed it up, it's yogurt. If you would think when yogurt started, it was something that was supposed to be healthy. But yogurt has now, if you look at the label, it's the same like a Kit Kat bar when you look at the sugar. So if you are buying yogurt, I tell people all the time, I know not everybody can make everything. A lot of people don't have the time. If you're going to do yogurt, make sure you're buying plain yogurt. And then at your home, you can add a little bit of honey. Okay. You can make apple sauce and put in it. You can chop fruits and put in it. You can put a little bit of maple syrup. You can sweeten it, and you realize that, oh wow, a little bit of sweetener goes such a long way. But if you look, even the yogurt that's for babies, it has about 4 teaspoons sugar in it. And this is yogurt for a 6-month-old child. So we need to be reading labels. We need to be present enough to pay attention.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. I have a listener that wants to know what your product line is called in your own words.
It is called Yummy Spoonfuls. It's a fresh frozen organic food for kids. And it's so funny because we worked with Walmart and came out with the mac and cheese that has veggies in it, because Walmart was like, okay, you guys are making all this healthy stuff. Can we have a mac and cheese? The type of instant mac and cheese with veggies in it, because we need the kids. Kids love the stuff, but there's nothing in the market like that. So took us 1 year and we made that. So that's the only dry product that we have now, that you can take it and put water and mix. You know those things that you mix in the microwave? Yes. And the Yummy Spoonfuls one has 1/3 cup of veggies. So at least you can feel better if your kid is eating that. But it's called Yummy Spoonfuls. It's an organic, made from scratch food for kids without any preservatives in it. And it's in the freezer.
My son loves mac and cheese. I'm going straight to look for. I didn't know that you had that.
Yeah, you can actually order that off Amazon.
Wow.
Yes.
For that right away, because he loves that. And like the instant mac and cheese that you talk about, that there's a healthy option for that. Wow. When are you going to make stuff for adults? Are you thinking about that? Is that part of?
No, adults are hard. I will just keep teaching. I will keep teaching. I'll keep teaching.
Someone asked, what do you talk about yogurt? What about Greek yogurt? What do you think about Greek yogurt?
It's okay, so long as you're buying plain yogurt. It doesn't matter to me whether it's Greek, whether it's not, so long as it's plain and so long as it's organic. If you can do organic. And to make yogurt at home is super easy.
In 1 minute, can you give us 1 minute? How do you make yogurt at home?
You can go to your local health food store and get a starter kit. They have the little starter kit, or you can, actually that would be the easiest way.
Okay.
To get a starter kit, and because that acidophilus, the thing that you use to put the active life enzyme.
Okay.
Yes. And you can use your own probiotic at home. You can open it and put it, but that would be the best place to start. If you have an instant pot, you can make it in an instant pot. If not, you just do it in the jar and let it.
You're amazing. You are amazing. You are just amazing. I'm telling you, that's one thing that I've never thought of. You're amazing. And thank you for that question. So I have some fun questions for you. Few fun questions. What's your favorite smoothie? I see, look, your page has mouth-watering. Oh my gosh, those smoothies, what's your favorite? What's your favorite mix for a smoothie?
I think it depends what I'm trying to do. Most often, I like wild blueberries and bananas, just those 2 ingredients, just because of what it does in my system. But for fun smoothie, just for fun, my favorite combination is pineapple, spinach, apple, a little bit of lemon, and mango. That combination would blow. I don't care how many times I hear somebody say, oh, my kids would not touch 1 drop of veggies. I say, make this smoothie with spinach, mango, pineapple, orange, or switch it and put apple, a little bit of lemon, and let them drink it. And
Wow.
that's the end of that story. Yes, that's my favorite flavor combination.
Spinach,
Yes.
pineapple, mango.
And I have it on my page. I have that recipe on my Instagram page. I don't think I've done a YouTube video. I don't think so. But I have a ton, as you said, I have a ton of recipes on my page.
We'll be checking it out. I'm sure some people are checking it out right now. Okay, I want to ask you this. Do you have a guilty pleasure with eating?
Yes, I love ice cream.
Okay. She's normal, yay! What's her favorite flavor?
Lavender.
Really? I never heard of that.
Yes, it
Wow.
is. But I'm very picky. So I would I drive and go to a particular little ice cream place that they make ice cream from. Yes. But lavender is my favorite flavor.
Lavender ice cream. Ice cream is my guilty pleasure. The chocolate.
Yes. I love chocolate, but when I do eat chocolate, it has to be 80% or more cacao. So it's not sweet, it's bitter. I like chocolate, but not like ice cream.
Wow, 80%. Okay. Goodness, you are really who you are. You know your stuff and you live by it.
Yeah.
I have a listener wants to know. She drinks a lot of flavored water sold in stores. What are your thoughts on that? Is that healthy? Flavored water?
No, but I'm curious as what she wants because she can, one, it's more economical. She can make her own water at home. So, and what's in the flavor water? She needs to look at the label. She needs to read the label and see what the ingredients are. I won't do flavor water.
Hmm. Okay, you heard that. We talked about oil, so we're going to go check out your IG page for the
Yeah.
things for oils. Um, what are three most essential ingredients you think everyone should have in their pantry?
I think it depends. It depends on what it is that you do. I have a lot of ingredients, but three things that I use during this season that I'm trying to just make sure our immune system is where it is. It's like every day when I'm cooking, I want to make sure it's somewhere. It's thyme, fresh thyme, garlic, and ginger, and onions. Those are all superfoods. They are chock full of phytonutrients that we need. So I can be making waffles now, and I'll just take a little bit of time and put in it. It's every time. What I say that you need to have in your pantry, regardless of what it is, just make sure that the foods that you're bringing home, you're putting in your pantry that you guys are eating is real food. It's as wholesome as it can be. Because at the end of the day, somebody's making money. What are you getting out of it? If you're not getting health, if all you're getting is sickness, you don't need to keep giving your money to somebody who doesn't care.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. I'm going to ask you one more question for as far as food, then we'll go to the business. We'll do some business questions because some of my guests are guests that are trying to get inspiration, right? They have this thing that they're passionate about and have considered, how do I turn this into a business? So we'll get to that in a few minutes and then we'll wrap up because I've had you for so long. I'm going to pull something out. Cereal. Another thing with kids, cereal. And you probably know what that is. That's in my home.
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
So
Don't.
no. I would never judge. That's not we all, including me, we all have room to grow. So I've shared this story so many times. We are a cereal-free home, and for years we used to do organic cereal because I didn't want the synthetic colors. But I remember when my youngest was, it might be he was two, either 2 or 3. I got up one day and I told my husband, we're not going to do cereal anymore. And that was it. I went cold turkey.
Wow.
And it's never made its way into my home again. I think it's the worst, not the, one of the worst foods that we give our kids. And we come back to the space of we live in a society where sickness is celebrated so much because there is so much money in sickness care. That's our reality. Our healthcare system is a for-profit business. So they just by default, even well-meaning doctors, they see you when you're sick. Until we look for ways that we would make preventive care profitable, conversations like this will always get lost.
Yeah.
Cereal, like even the thing that you just showed me, I can give you a myriad of reasons why that is such a problem. But again, with nutrition, unlike um, if your child falls and scratch themselves, you see blood coming out, you know they are hurt. With the food that your kids eat, a lot of the time, the exception being if your child has an allergy, you don't see it until when it's a lot later. I was reading a book, and this guy is like, "Oh, cancer starts in childhood," and it just breaks my heart every time I see things like that. But that's the truth, because that particular thing, that red color, that yellow color, those food colors have been banned in countries around the world, but America, because of the effect that it has on kids. It's been banned, like they don't use it. There is a brand, there is a company here that makes mac and cheese. The mac and cheese that they make in America use that yellow number 4. The mac and cheese that they make and sell in Europe use whole foods color. I think it's done with either annatto or turmeric. But the process that they use, the extrusion process that's used to make cereal to turn into those little round fluffy balls, those things, all those things.
Yeah.
The heat renders a lot of those products toxic. So I would ask that you really read into it. And there are 2 problems, because the cereal goes with milk.
Yeah.
And milk by itself, you guys need to, for anything that your children eat a lot of, invest time in it, like how you invest to buy a car. Just go look, because the information is out there. You can go all the way back to the 50s. You would see studies on something like milk. And every year they'll make another one trying to change what the data says, but it's not changing. Too much of it, it's a problem. So if every morning your child is eating from that thing, you put it, I know it's so easy because life, I mean, you get up in the morning, but that is the, if there is anything you need to take out this today, if you ask me, what can I do? That would be it. Looks like you're frozen. Well, I'm not sure what's going on. It looks like I'm the host now. Hey guys, while you all are there watching, let me see if I can find Janet. Okay? What happened? Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So technical stuff, you know, when the power went out, we were connected to my phone's hotspot. Then my phone died because we're outside.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. That was so fantastic.
I'm like, let me just stay here because I tried texting, I tried calling, and then I realized that I was the only one on YouTube. I saw the YouTube said live. So I'm like, so I'm glad you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, we're going to go live in a second. Sweetie, the bandwidth is low though. Should I go back on my hotspot? Sweetheart.
Mom, you're fine.
Okay.